This is amazing to see how you guys are getting ready. It's obviously been very slow for you guys because you've not been able to sell locally and trade locally because of the ban. Just speak to us about the preparations and how you're going to keep up with the demand, because people are going to be flocking tomorrow to buy cigarettes.
Look, it's going to be quite challenging. As we all know, the President's announcement came quite late on Saturday evening, and now to expect us from Tuesday to be able to supply the market that we traditionally supply is going to be an immense challenge. So our members and their factories are working around the clock to try as best as they can to try and supply all the supplies that they have. But it's going to be quite challenging, and the next few days are going to be quite an arduous battle. But we are hoping that after a few days we will be able to find our feet and get back to a position that we were in prior to the lockdown when the sales were still permitted.
Okay, and then Senator, just speak to us about how production is obviously up. You're going to need more people on the ground because demand is obviously going up. But you need to ensure that you adhere to, COVID regulations and not having too many people within the factory. Speak to us about that process.
Look, we've ensured that all our members maintain strict levels of compliance in as far as ensuring the health and safety of their employees. As you can see, if you look around, all the factory workers stationed around are equipped with the relevant masks and protocol, and we ensure that we station hand sanitizers and many other requirements which are required in as far as ensuring that the health and safety of all the employees at all times is adhered to.
Okay, and then, you guys have obviously had massive losses because you've not been able to sell locally, but you're also in the Supreme Court of Appeal. Are you guys going to continue with that application? Just speak to us about the status of that application.
Yes, as things currently stand, we are proceeding with that application. There are a number of aspects which one needs to consider. One is the fact that we are currently under we are entering level 2 as the President announced on Saturday. However, as the President cautioned, infections are likely to rise, and we may find ourselves in a position where we find ourselves again under alert levels 3, 4 or 5 depending on the rate of infections. Now, that then would mean that the sale of cigarettes and tobacco related products is not permitted, and our court application was always based on the fact that the sale of cigarettes should be permitted under any alert level. So we're continuing on that basis, and the fact that our case raises a number of novel issues in law which haven't been tested by the upper court, higher courts in as far as the Disaster Management Act and its implementation. So as a matter of public interest as well, I think it is quite crucial that we proceed with our application.
Okay. And then just lastly, if you can speak to us about whether you think it was too late for the tobacco industry, given the fact that the ban was lifted at such a late stage, and the illicit trade is booming at this stage. Are you worried that people are going to take longer to actually start buying legally and continue buying on the black market? Are you worried about this with the cigarettes that you guys sell?
Definitely. This is something we have always raised with government when we have attempted to engage with them. The fact that the illicit trade is slowly extending its networks, and they are now very sophisticated ones, and their products are currently still in the market, and what you're going to find is that it is going to take some time to root them all out completely, and it's going to be quite a challenge for the legitimate industry, because what will happen is that the criminal syndicates who operate in the illicit economy are going to be able to offer their cigarettes at a much cheaper rate than the legitimate traders, because they do not pay the requisite taxes. So it's going to be quite a price war in a sense, but we are going to attempt to engage with government and law enforcement agencies to try and deal with this issue, because it may be to the detriment of the legitimate industry in the long run, which will obviously be to the detriment of the fiscus, because we contribute billions to the economy. So ultimately it's in government's best interest to ensure that they protect the legitimate industry.
Great, thank you so much. We appreciate it. So that was Senator Mnguni from FITA, the chairperson. I just want to ask my cameraman Teboko, and I know we're running out of time, but I just want to show you this aspect. We're going to be doing a tour a little later on, but as you can see, they're already packing the cigarettes. It's a machine that they're using, and then it eventually gets packed into the boxes. So the smokers out there, there is no shortage of cigarettes. FITA is currently on a production phase, and they are trying to get ready for trade as of Tuesday.
Important point you made, Heidi, that the fact that there are so many illicit cigarettes out there which are currently cheaper than the ones that will be back on the market tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at the market.